My first duty assignment was in the middle of nowhere, Sweetwater, Texas. And then I went to Vietnam for 1 year, and then to Patrick Air Force Base near Cape Kennedy in Florida. VA has been fantastic. I had 2 minor episodes that would have turned major if the VA had not been there to take care of my health needs. I had been denying my PTSD for many years and was able to find a counselor. His name was Carl. He helped me unpack the bags that I was carrying and then repack them into something a little more portable. The frustration of wanting to accomplish something and just finding roadblocks everywhere you turn is, I think, a frustration that a lot of people can relate to. You can yell about it all you want, but it sometimes takes help from others in order to get beyond that roadblock. I've had a camera in my hand since I was probably about 12 years old. Have been in love with photography most of my life. I had been working for a photography studio, and the owner had written up a contract so that I could take over the studio. That was right when the slump hit in the 80s. Plus the studio was in Northeast Portland, and most of my customers were in Gresham, and they were working on the Banfield Freeway at that time. It was very difficult for people to get there. So yeah, it was a failure in the works. I was working for Xerox Corporation in Wilsonville, and I had this weight over my head in that I'd lost both my mother and my brother to cancer in their 50s. And so I had a chance to take early retirement, sign the paperwork, and that was just like 2 weeks before the 2008 crash. I was doing okay living in Mexico for about 6 years, but at that time my sister had lost her husband, and nobody was able to take care of her, so I moved from Mexico to Texas and stayed with her for 3 years until she passed. That was the same week that the COVID lockdown hit. So I packed everything and headed back to Vancouver and stayed with my grandson off and on as I was traveling, looking for some place that I could afford to live. I was very fortunate. My daughter was working for WorkSource. She had been talking with Joseph Hennessy, who was a VA counselor, and he in turn got in touch with me and connected me with the Partners in Careers. They recognized my need because at that time I was living out in my van, and put me together with the Fruit Valley tiny house, and everything since then has just been positive, positive, positive. I enjoy painting rocks. Vancouver Rocks is a group that my grandkids belong to, and they introduced me to rock painting. So that's been a lot of fun. I want to thank the Fruit Valley group, the wonderful people here that I've met and getting to know as a community, all the folks that have helped me to get to where I am today, feeling safe and secure.